Welcome students to this second session of third chapter 7th standard fibers to fabrics. So, in the previous class we have studied how the wool is extracted or obtained from a sheep or a goat, the process of fibers to wool. So, these are the steps involved in the extraction. First is shearing. Shearing is nothing but a shaving of the skin of a wool or sheep. Shaving of, that is removing of skin from wool or sheep. Second step is scouring. Scouring is nothing but a cleaning of the extracted skin of sheep to remove dust, water materials or any of the grease materials present on the skin. Third one is sorting. Sorting nothing but a separation of the clean extracted skin by seeing its color or by seeing its texture. Fourth one is cleaning of burrs. What are burrs? In the previous class we have studied the burrs. Yes, burrs are nothing but a circular or a ball like formation on the sweater, muffler, wool material you have seen in your regular clothing. So, cleaning of the burrs. Next, fifth one is the rolling. After cleaning the burrs, we have to roll the particular extracted wool in a form of a roller. So, sixth one will be the dyeing. Dyeing, yes, exactly, the coloring of the rolled or already cleaned extracted wool. So, this are the steps involved in the process of fiber to wool that we are already studying in the previous class. Next, in this session we will see how the silk material is obtained. Fine. So, silk, I think you people, you students are familiar with the silk. Yes, silk fibers are also animal fibers obtained from animal. So, silkworms spin the silk fibers. The rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called sericulture. You people have heard about sericulture. Fine. So, what is sericulture? Exactly, the rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called sericulture. Find out from your mother, aunt or grandmother the kind of silk sarees they have. I think you people are very familiar with silk sarees that your mother wear or your appa wear, dhotis and all. So, those materials, those silk materials are from a silk fibers. These silk fibers are obtained from a animal fibers. What are these animal fibers? Silkworms. Silkworms spin this silk fibers, that is the rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called sericulture. Sericulture, it is a branch of science where silk are obtained from silkworms. Now, we will see exactly how the silk is obtained from silkworm. We will see the interesting life history of a silkworm. The female silk moth lays eggs from which hatch larvae which are called caterpillars or silkworms. You people have heard, you people have seen caterpillars, right? They grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history called pupa. Yes, pupa. It is the first weaves a net to hold itself. Fine. So, the first one is female silk moth lays eggs from which hatch larvae which are called caterpillars or silkworms. Now, you know what are caterpillars or silkworms? Yes. Then these silkworms grow in size, and when the caterpillars or silkworms is ready to enter to the next stage of its life history, it is called as pupa. Yes. Then after becoming pupa, it swings its head from side to side in the form of figure of 8. You people have already know the particular shape of 8, exactly like this. After getting the stage of pupa, this swings its head from side to side in the form of 8. Yes, exactly in the shape of 8. So, here you can see how beautifully the caterpillar or silkworm will be hanging its head side to side in the form of figure of 8. During these movements of head, the caterpillar secretes fiber made of a protein which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fibers. Now you got students how the silk fibers are secreted from silkworms? Yes, the female moth lays the egg. From egg to pupa. This pupa, after getting its stage pupa, it will swings in the form of 8, and during this movement of head, the caterpillar secretes fiber like material which is made up of protein, which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. Soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers and turns into pupa. This covering is known as cocoon. This how exactly the shape of a cocoon. So soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers. So what are silk fibers? Fine. Silk fibers are the secreted fibrous materials from caterpillars which are made up of proteins that will become hardened when it exposed to air. Fine. Soon the caterpillar completely covers its body by silk fibers and turns into pupa. This covering is known as cocoon. You can see a small white color ball shaped materials, oval shaped caterpillars which will be inside. That covering is called as cocoon. How nicely you can see by the silkworm, the caterpillar by itself, it is covered with the silk fibers. The further development of the pupa into moth continues inside the cocoon. Fine. The further development of the pupa, you had to remember inside that cocoon the pupa will be there, caterpillar's pupa will be there. The further development of the pupa into the moth continues inside the cocoon. Yes, silk fibers are used for weaving silk cloth. Now our silk fibers are ready. Fine. This is how the life cycle of a silkworm will be. So finally, silk fibers are used for weaving the silk cloth. Now we will see the interesting life history of silk moth. You can see a beautiful picture slide which will explain you exactly the life history of silk moth. As I told you, from a female moth which lays many tiny eggs. On the leaf you can see many eggs. Fine. You can easily make out the small eggs on a leaf, that is from a female moth. A tiny black caterpillar hatches out of its egg. You can see in the second stage of the history, a small tiny black caterpillar hatches out of its egg. The caterpillar eats mulberry leaves and grows bigger and bigger. It goes through 4 molds. Fine. The caterpillar eats mulberry leaves, only it will eat mulberry leaves and grows bigger and bigger. Fine. So you can see in the third stage, the development of caterpillars spins a cocoon of silk threads around itself. As I explained you, after becoming a bigger size of caterpillars, it will spins a cocoon of silk threads around itself. In the next stage, inside the cocoon, the caterpillar changes into pupa. So now our pupa, our silkworm, our caterpillar are inside this cocoon which is beautifully spinned or beautifully covered by a silk fibers. Now people unwind this silk thread from the cocoons to weave its silk cloth. The pupa changes into a moth, the moth comes out of the cocoon. You can see in the 7th stage how nicely the caterpillar is coming out of the cocoon. Yes, after removing the silk thread from the cocoon, the pupa will come out of the cocoon. The adult moth mate with each other. So next it will enter to its mating stage. Exactly the same cycle will repeat. This is how the interesting life history of our silk moth. To know more about our life history of a silkworm, we will see some activities. Take an artificial silk thread. Yes, take an artificial silk thread and a pure silk thread. Burn these two types of different kinds of threads carefully. Did you notice any difference in its smell while burning? Now burn a woolen fiber carefully. Did it smell like a burning of artificial silk or that of pure silk? Definitely please try this at home and notice the difference. You will definitely notice some difference. Fine. What is this difference? Synthetic silk is made up of plant. So, it smells like a burning paper or plastics. Fine? Yes. Woolen silk is made up of protein molecules and hence it gives burning hair smell on burning. From cocoon to silk. So, we have just seen in the life cycle the silk is extracted from the cocoon. Fine. How exactly? There is a little bit 4 to 5 steps to extract the silk from a cocoon. For obtaining silk, moths are reared and their cocoons are collected to get the silk threads. Rearing silkworms. A female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. We have already seen in the life history the female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. The eggs are stored carefully on strips of cloth or paper and sold to silkworm farmers. The farmers keep eggs under hygienic conditions. What is hygienic conditions? Exactly, free from microorganisms or free from dust or free from even water molecules, just to avoid the contamination, the external contamination. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larva to hatch from eggs. This is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crop of leaves. This is how exactly the silkworms or caterpillars looks when it will be fed on a mulberry leaves. Fine. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larva to hatch from eggs. This is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crop of leaves. Now, the larvae called caterpillars are silkworms. Fine. Till this stage, that particular caterpillars are called as larvae. Now, from here onwards, this will be called as caterpillars or silkworms, which eat day and night the mulberry leaves and increase enormously in size. Yes, exactly. They will eat only mulberry leaves day and night and increase in their size. Now, the larvae are kept in a clean bamboo trays along with freshly chopped mulberry leaves. After 25 to 30 days, the caterpillars stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin cocoons. This is how exactly the farmer will go on for the procedure to extract the cocoon. Next, small racks of twigs may be provided in the trays to which cocoons get attached. The caterpillar or silkworm spins the cocoon inside, which develops the silk moth. Fine? You got this point, students? Yes, small racks or twigs may be provided in the trays to which cocoons get attached. They need a support to spin the silk fiber. So, for that I will provide with the racks or twigs to which cocoons get attached. The caterpillar or silkworm spins the cocoon inside, which develops the silk moth. Now, extraction of silk or the processing of silk. How farmer exactly process the silk? The cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to steam. The process of taking out threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called reeling the silk. Exactly, reeling the silk. What is the process of reeling the silk? The cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to steam. The process of taking out for your use of silk is called reeling the silk. This is how exactly a person is immersing or boiling the extracted cocoon. Fine? Yes, or else they will go for a natural sun steaming or sun exposing the particular extracted cocoon under the sun. What is reeling the silk? The process of taking out threads, that is silk threads from the cocoon for the use as silk is called reeling the silk. Reeling is done in a special machines which unwind the threads or fibers to silk from the cocoon. Silk fibers are then spun into silk threads which are woven into silk cloth by weavers. You got this point, students? Yes. After cleaning or after steaming the particular extracted silk, reeling is done in a special machines which unwind the threads or fibers of silk from the cocoon. Silk fibers are then spun into silk threads which are woven into silk cloth by weavers. These you can see how exactly the spinning of a particular silk cloth by weavers. Fine. That is why I said this reeling is done in a special machines, because these are all a large scale industrial production of silk. When it comes to a small scale industry, obviously the farmers can do with the labours, but when it comes to a large scale production, they have to take the help of machines. Now, we can see a variety of silk moths which look very different from one another. You can see even your mother silk sarees or father dhotis which looks very different from one another, and the silk yarn, the yield is different in textures also. Texture, when you touch a particular silk, you can see the difference between one another. That is, some silk will be smooth, some will be shiny, or some will be coarse. Thus, tussar silk, Muga silk and Kosa silk, etc. are the some kind of silk which are obtained from the cocoon spun by different types of moths. Why these different types of silk materials? Because of because they have extracted from a different type of moths. The most common silk moth is mulberry silk moth. Why mulberry silk moth? Definitely they have fed with the mulberry leaves. The silk fiber from the cocoon of this moth is soft, lustrous and elastic and can be dyed in a beautiful colors. Summary of this chapter. Students, till now what we have learnt, we will see a particular flow chart, how the flows will go from point 1 to point 10. Silk comes from silkworms. It is a very easy points that you can write it down in your classwork or notebook just to recall the particular subject. Silk comes from silkworms and wool is obtained from sheep, goat and yak. Hence, silk and wool are animal fibers. The hair of camel, llama or alpaca are also processed to yield the wool. In India, mostly sheep are reared for getting wool. Sheep hair is sheared off from the body, scoured, sorted, dried, dyed and spun and woven to yield wool. Silkworms are caterpillars of silk moth. During their life cycle, the worm spins cocoon of silk fibers. Now, our silk fibers are made up of proteins. We have already know much more about the silk fibers, that is, silk fibers are made up of proteins. Silk fibers from cocoons are separated out and reeled into silk threads. Exactly. Weavers weave silk threads into a silk cloth. Now, we will concentrate on the exercise whichever you have noticed in your textbook. Please students, take out your textbooks and exactly see what and all the content is present in the exercise. From your childhood you can you are familiar with the rhymes, that is, Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. What are these rhymes? These rhymes have a beautiful meaning behind this. To know more about this, answer these questions, students. Which part of the black sheep have wool? Exactly. The hairy skin called fleece has wool. That is why Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Which part of the black sheep have you wool? The hairy skin called fleece has wool. What is meant by the white fleece of the lamb? Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. What is meant by the white fleece of the lamb? White fleece means white colored hairy skin. Are you noticing, students? Good. Third one, the silkworm is a caterpillar, larva, choose the correct option, students. Now, we have already seen the life history, life cycle of silkworm. You can answer easily this question. The silkworm, whether it is a caterpillar or a larva? Yes, exactly. It is both A and B. Why both A and B? Exactly, because from a larva the caterpillar will be formed. The next stage will be the caterpillar from a larva. That is why our answer is both A and B. The silkworm is caterpillar from a larva. Which of the following does not yield wool? Yak, camel, goat or woolly dog? You can answer easily, students. Which of the following does not yield wool? Yak. Yes, we can extract wool from yak, camel. Go back to your 6th standard portion. You can extract even wool from camel, goat. It is a common source of wool. Woolly dog. Yes, we got the exact answer is woolly dog. Which of the following does not yield wool? Woolly dog. What is meant by the following terms? Rearing, the process of keeping, feeding, breeding and taking care of useful animals is called rearing. It is not only related to silkworm or caterpillar. Rearing can be of for any animals. That is why it has a standard definition that rearing is the process of keeping, feeding, breeding and taking care of useful animals is called rearing. Please note down, students, these are your important exercise activities. Next, what is shearing? Not sharing, this is shearing. The process of removing the fleece of the sheep along with thin layer of skin is called shearing. The process of removing the fleece of the sheep along with the thin layer of skin is called shearing. Yes, fine. You can write down neatly in classwork or notebook. Third one is sericulture. In the first slide only, I have explained you what is sericulture. It is a rearing of silkworms or obtaining silk is called sericulture. What is this sericulture? The rearing of silkworms or obtaining a silk is called sericulture. And the fifth activity, fifth question, given below is a sequence of steps in the processing of wool. Which are the missing steps? Shearing, next is blank, third one is sorting and the rest 3 is blank. I think you people, students can easily answer, you can easily fill these blanks. Given below is a sequence of steps. There is a sequence of steps in the processing of wool. Please answer the second one. What is the second one? Scoring. Shearing, after shearing, scoring. After sorting, in that exercise only they have given. Fourth one is cleaning of burrs. Burrs materials are the circular materials which will come on the sweaters or woolen. They will take out this burrs. That is cleaning of burrs. Rolling, yes, spinning of the extracted wool. Dyeing, coloring, coloring the extracted wool. Make a sketch of 2 stages in the life history of the silk moth which are directly related to the production of silk. This is a beautiful diagram where you can easily practice on your rough book, students, silkworm to cocoon with pupa. So, the question exactly is make a sketch of the 2 stages in the life history of the silk moth which are directly related to the production of silk. I think you can practice easily with the help of your sister or mother at home. Next will be the out of the following which are the 2 terms related to silk production. Out of the following which are the 2 terms related to silk production. Sericulture, floriculture, moriculture, apiculture and silviculture. You got the question, students? Out of the given following which are the 2 terms related to silk production. Hints they have given: silk production involves cultivation of mulberry leaves and rearing silkworms. So, you can answer the first one, sericulture. Yes, exactly. in the previous slide only we have studied what is sericulture, obtaining silk from silkworm. Or question also related to the production of silk only. So, first answer will be sericulture. What is next answer? For that, second hint they have given is scientific name of mulberry is Morus alba. For every leaves there will be two types students, one botanical name, one common name. Botanical name nothing but scientific name, and one will be the common name which we are used in our daily life. That is why in the second hint they have given scientific name or botanical name for mulberry is Morus alba. So, now you can easily answer which one will be the second one. Sericulture we got the answer, whether it is floriculture, no, moriculture, yes exactly, because the scientific name of mulberry is Morus alba. So, the second answer will be moriculture. In the 8th question, match the words of the column 1 with the column 2. You can easily answer this student. Now, we are very familiar with the silk and wool extraction. Scoring, S. Cleaning, sheared skin, mulberry leaves, silkworm, yolk, wool yielding animal, and cocoon yields silk fibers. Please note these students and practice and study at your home just to be thorough in the subject. Scoring, cleaning or shearing or sheared skin, and mulberry leaves, food of silkworm, yolk, wool yielding animals, and cocoon will be yield one which will yield the silk fibers. In terms of number of sheep, India ranks third in the world behind China and Australia. However, the New Zealand is the one which will known to yield the best wool. Apart from this, we have to proud of ourselves that we stands third rank in the world to in the form of numbering sheep. Fine. So, thank you students. Hope you got or you understood this chapter 3 session 1 and session 2. Please practice at home, very interesting session because it involves the extraction of wool, extraction of silk and the beautiful life history of a silkworm or a caterpillar. Thank you students. I myself Ashwini Ramesh, Assistant Professor, Deputy Coordinator, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Ramaya College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Bengaluru. Please in this corona, in this COVID also, you have to take care of your health, parallelly concentrate on our studies. Thank you so much.